home step by step. Learn how to use a bow staff or a long martial arts staff. Simple, easy, fast. You're going to start with this warm up. Start in one hand, just turning up and back. Want to get the blood flowing into the wrist, into the forearm, into all the muscles, the joints. Stay safe from injury with a simple warm up. It's also going to build power in your grip, and it's going to help you move your bow a lot faster, whether you're using your bow or your long martial arts staff for self-defense. If you're trying to do some kind of competition, you want to train for competition or just be a better martial artist. Maybe you want to get into combat bow sparring or you're fighting with your combat bow. Whatever it is that you want to do, you're going to do it a lot better. You start with a simple warm-up. We're going to go step by step, learning bow staff. Good evening, Sensei Emmett. It's good to see you. You're coming side to side. Sensei Emmett's here. Who else is here tonight? You're going to go out one way and then out the other way. A simple, easy spin, side by side. We were doing a lot of bow today in all of the classes. I had a camp for the little younger kids today, and then the older ones, we had classes tonight, some adults today. All day long I've been doing bow. I've been doing bow for self-defense, bow fighting, and bow spinning, kind of freestyle. I'm going to show you a little bit of all of that tonight. Just going in side by side when you're learning bow staff at home for beginners, step by step. Proper warm-up also builds strength. From here, you're practicing bringing this together like this. Hello, Richard from Tallahassee. Just coming out from one side to the other. This pass, and then I want you to bring the hands together so that the right hand is above the left hand, and you're going to turn the hands facing each other. Pull the top hand out of the way, pull it back. Turn the bottom hand all the way up. The top hand's going to slide in there. Allow it to come together. There's that butterfly. This is the butterfly spin. Wrists in contact. Hand over hand. Going one direction first. You're going to do this for 30 seconds. This is step 3. When you're learning bow staff at home for beginners, step by step, you're going to do a proper warm-up and then get right into spinning. This is the first spin, but it's step 3 of learning bow staff at home for beginners. Then from here, you're going to go the other way. JR is here from New Jersey. Hello, JR. It's good to see you. You're going to bring it over and the other way. You were just going this way. All you're going to do is turn it back the other way. The difference between a butterfly and a skip grab or skip catch, Richard's asking, can you see the difference? Here it is. See how my hands are apart? Going this way or going this way. There's the skip catch. There's the butterfly. Bring the wrists together. They're in contact. You have more control. Change it, go the other way. You can go in both directions. The right hand is on top. If you open the hands or you go the other way, oh, almost lost it there. And when you lose your staff, you're going to drop it a lot. I still do. Just pick it up. Keep it going. And then you go the other way, and that's all with the right hand forward or on top. Then you can put the left hand on top and do the butterfly spin here. Now, breaking it down one more time, we can go back to skip catch if you want, pull it in. I have that 100-day 100-day challenge. It's 100 spins, or what is it? 100 spins a day, 10 different spins. That's 1,000 spins for 100 days. It's 100,000 spins. And it starts with this one. Rain says, doesn't like you haven't been able to practice the past week. You're going to live a long time. Even if you're 100 years old now, you're going to live to be 150. Don't get upset about one small moment in time. This too shall pass. That's the saying. So if you can't train this week, that's all right. You're going to be able to train next week, maybe 2 weeks later. But over time, don't underestimate what you can do over a long period of time. You'll be able to train. I know it's more fun when you get to do it consistently. Now see how my watch is in the way? Take your watch off. I always forget to do that. I just like to wear it. I do a heart rate thing. I monitor my heart rate when I teach certain classes. I have a boxing and self-defense class coming up after this. It's young adults, and we're going to get the heart rate really high. And I try to get like 1,000 calories burned in an hour. Rain said, wouldn't be bad if you hadn't messed up your hand. Yep, I get it. But you know what? Sometimes the injuries tell us to slow down or change what we're doing. All right, we already had the right hand on top, so let's put the left hand on top. But here's the key: wrist to wrist, butterfly. And when you spin it, the thing that I find almost everybody struggles with is getting the hand out of the way. And the only way you just pull it out of the way like that. Once it's out of the way, it turns down, and then the top hand has to pull out of the way, and then you slide it back in, and there's the butterfly. So if you are struggling with the butterfly, see if that's the issue. You're running into your own hands and then it hits the ground. If we get it going one direction, turn, and go the other direction. And then you've got it. Work, no rest for the wicked. Exactly. Now let's go into a one-hand spin. So when you're learning bow staff at home for beginners, step by step, the next step is spinning with just one hand. And this is the figure eight. You're going from one side of the body to the next. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Make big motions first. It'll make more sense to your brain and to your body. If you think about carving a sideways figure eight with that thumb, and just allow your whole body to move. This is my right hand, so I'm going to step back with my left, make my body smaller so I can get the staff to come from one side of the body and then back to the other side. Good afternoon, Justin. It's good to see you. Justin says hello, side to side. And I'm going to ask all of you to do me a big favor. I'm ordering more t-shirts, and I know some of you already have some or have them. Please send me an email with your name and address. If you're a member, if you've joined here or on Patreon, I want to send you a t-shirt. I'm looking for, I haven't found it yet, a low-cost printer. I don't want to get a lot of shirts out. And I want you to send pictures, and I'm going to stick them on the website or on Facebook. And Justin said, send your training video. Good. I'll take a look at that today. Also, send me your training videos. I'd love to see them. I'll give you feedback if you want to hear it. If not, just send me your email or video. Say, hey, take a look at this, but don't give me any feedback. I don't want to hear it. I'd love to send you guys a t-shirt. Justin, I'd love to see a t-shirt. Go to pasquinelli.com, excuse me, in the contact box. Send me your information, name, first and last, mailing address, and they always ask for a phone number. If you don't want to give me a phone number, that's fine. I'll put my phone number in it. But send me that so I can get some t-shirts out. I haven't had them made yet. I do have a couple left over from the last batch, but I'm looking for a better printer to get them out a little bit faster. And then I want you to send me your pictures. So you're just going over and over, side to side. And then bring it to the side of your body and do that same motion. This is the next step. Learn bow staff at home for beginners step by step. Next step, change the plane. Now we're talking about this. Some of you are ready to do freestyle, or some of you are already doing freestyle. I want to show you something that we went over a lot today that I think can really hurt. LM, good to see you. LM's been sending me some information. Send me first name, last name, your mailing address. I want to build that up. But go to pasquinelli.com. And while you're there, look around and stuff. I'm trying to build that blog, that website. I need some traffic for that. So we're helping each other out. You go there, give me some traffic. Go visit that a couple times a day, and then, but send me your information. I want to send out some shirts. When you go into this forward rotation spin, and you bring it over to the other side of your body, it's going to naturally go into a reverse spin. See how this is a reverse spin? LM says, okay, will do, thank you. When you bring it back to the other side of the body, turn your hand all the way up and come over the top, the same way you would do a butterfly spin, but then go into the forward rotation again. This is how you start the freestyle or bow flow. So some of you are ready. This is the next step. Learn bow staff at home for beginners step by step. When you're learning spinning, learn the static spins or the basic spins, then learn how to go from one side of the body to the other side of the body. And when you do that, it's going to put it in reverse. Let me slow that way down so you see it. When I come back to the original side, I'm going to have to do butterfly setup, forward spin. This is how we warmed up. Reverse spin. And then stop and go into forward spin here so that you do the same thing on both sides evenly. Bring it over, palms up, pinky to pinky. Reverse spin over here. Bring it back. Take it over the top. Forward spin. And that's not all, because here's the next step. Learn bow staff at home for beginners, step by step. Next step, start in the right hand, go into a forward spin, and I'm going to bring it straight up over my head. Once it's over my head, I'm going to turn it, take it out, and drop it. But when I drop it, it's going to be in another forward spin. So the way you go from forward spin to forward spin is you add an overhead move. There are other ways to do it too, but I want you to learn this tonight. Let me see if I can bring this camera up just a little bit. I keep saying every day I'm going to get a new camera rig, and it's just one of those things where if I don't have to spend the money, I'm trying to move out of this physical location. Something's happened here recently in the world, I think. There's just so much more homeless. And I'm torn. I want to be honest. Part of me wants to help the homeless. Part of me wants to feed my family. And it's hard to feed my family when people are being chased away. Rain says, starting to carry a bow again, helps at time on tour. Still carry a bow. Yes, it's a nice alternative. So I'm torn. I feel like my business is stunted because of the dramatic increase in aggressive homeless people in the area. Justin, if you're in the area, yeah, come down and be my camera guy. I love that. And we'll work together. We'll do some stuff. I do have a new student. We're going to start making some videos together because he's trying to build his YouTube channel. Very successful person. And he wants to show some of the training. So I'm going to have some partner stuff. I told him, I said, I'll do that for you, but you have to be my partner when we do all these moves so I can show you guys that this stuff really works and how it really works. All right, but let's go back. Next step, so you're doing this forward spin, right? I had to make sure my team wasn't here. I'm going forward rotation. If I bring it here, it has to go in a reverse rotation. But let's say I want to keep it going in a forward spin from side to side. That's where I'm going to go up over my head. So we're going to break it down really slowly. I'm doing forward spin. When I'm ready, I simply raise my hand up and it changes. It's like if you've ever had a paper clip and you bend it so that it's a 90 degrees, or maybe it's like that, and so it sits up like that. That's basically what we're doing. We're doing a circle here, or figure eight, and then I bend that paper clip, change the plane. I go from this plane to this plane, sagittal plane to whatever this is that comes through the middle. Frontal plane, maybe. I don't know. I think frontal and sagittal is the same one. Don't quote me. I'm not a scientist or a geometrist or whatever it is. I go back into the forward rotation. When I'm ready to go back to the other side, I bring it up over my head. I do that simple hand transfer, palm to palm, pinkies, or palms up, pinkies, touching, and I bring it down. So I'm doing forward rotation, front and back of my body, up over my head, forward rotation here. Bring it up, whip it around, and then when you're ready, whip it behind your back. So to bring it behind your back, you simply turn it down and it comes up. Your thumb is up, your other thumb is up, both thumbs are up. You simply pull it out, but you're going to be in a reverse rotation. So when you do the forward spin here and you come across your body to the front, you're in the reverse spin. When you do the forward spin here and you come behind your back, you're also in a reverse spin. So if you do the forward spin here and you don't want to be in a reverse spin here, you go up over the head and now you're back into a forward spin. Then you can go behind your back, but then you'll be in a reverse spin. But if you're in a reverse spin here and you want to do a reverse spin here, then you come over your head and you're in a forward spin. I didn't do that right. Reverse spin, up over the head, and there it is, reverse spin. It's about turning. Yeah, you're right. The homeless issue does pop up every 10 or 15 years. Surprisingly, right? It's just changes in policy. It's global shifts. It's all kinds of stuff. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to get into politics because it doesn't matter. It's a real need, And I believe in helping where I can help. But I also know that to feed my family, I have to make business. And I can't help the homeless if I don't have any money. So I need to move up the street. So I've been looking. Hopefully we have a better location soon. All right, anyway, I confused myself with this overhead spin. Forward spin, overhead, forward spin, behind the back, reverse spin. Reverse spin, overhead, reverse spin. I don't think I got that one right. We've got to break that one down. We'll come back to that one. All right, let's go into wrist rolls. So you're coming over here. I don't always make it work out. That's something I want you to understand too. Don't ever believe any martial arts instructor. I don't care how high of a master they are, right? I'm not criticizing a master or whatever, because there are some really serious, legit, good martial artists out there who deserve whatever rank they are or are not. But the point is, if you ever find anybody in any field who never makes any mistakes, run. Don't listen to them. If they tell you that, a good instructor will say, no, I make mistakes all the time. That's the only way I learn. A good instructor will still learn. I'm always looking for ways to learn. People I can learn from, mistakes I can make so that I can grow. If you stop growing, forget it. There's no value anymore. Don't learn from somebody who's been stagnated, stale for the last 30 years. That's just my personal opinion. Katya says, thanks, man. Great stories. Keep on spinning. Rain, best way to learn is to mess up. Absolutely. Other thing that's happened a lot this week is I've had my glasses smashed a lot because we've been doing more hand-to-hand stuff, which I love. And I like teaching people practical martial arts or practical self-defense. And so every once in a while, we've got to mix it up. That's also something that helps you to grow. But now I have to get new glasses. They're hanging on by a thread. They're like my camera holder. I'm going to have to get online and order glasses and order a new camera rig at the same time. So you're just going over the back of the hand. And it's as simple as, see how this isn't moving? Just let it here. Hey, it's Chris Mike's World. It's good to see you. Is it Chris Mike or Chris Mick? I think it's Mick. Chris Mick's World. Just going over one side, the other side. Justin says absolutely 20 years into studies, far from knowing everything. Love that. Yeah, absolutely. You'll never know it all. No one can, right? That's the great thing. Maybe some AI bot at some point, but even artificial intelligence will never know everything because things constantly change. And there's an infinite amount of permutations to everything, infinite amount of ways things can be put together. And you'll never figure it all out, but that's what's beautiful about life. Don't try to understand it. Do it. There's understanding and knowing, too. This is something that I've been trying to, this camera rig is really busted. Been trying to save my couple dollars so that I can move down the street. All right, I need to buy a new camera rig. It's one of these things I wish I could show you. It's got like little things that screw into the tripod, and on each side they're all broken, and there's one left, and it's literally at an angle. I don't know if you can tell the angle because it's hanging on by a thread. It's hanging on by a thread. So we're spinning the fingers. You can see that really fires the muscles in here. That's going to build your grip strength for all martial arts styles, all self-defense. But it's also going to give you better bow handling skills. When you learn bow staff at home for beginners, step by step, you really want to get strong hands from the start. But go slowly. It'll take a while to adapt, but don't underestimate. If you do a little bit every single day, like I said, go back and look at my bow staff mastery challenge. It's 1,000 spins a day. That's 10 different spins, 100 spins. That's like 2 hands. That's half with one. It's 50 spins per hand, 10 different spins. David asked, would you spin in a real self-defense situation? And the answer to that is only if you're Darth Maul and you have a lightsaber. Then yeah, you're going to just chop them up. And I'm mostly joking, but no, you are not going to spin in self-defense. What you're going to do is, so Chris Mick says, reading a book, favorite character uses quarterstaff. A lot of similar techniques. You get behind bow. This is self-defense. You point your thumb. Now you have this wood between you, this long piece, in this case oak. This is oak. I have the new Cane Masters cane. Cane Masters made me an oak bow and mailed it to me. Normally I run down and pick it up because I love this guy's house. He's the spy master. He's made who knows how many millions. He's got this massive complex. You got to go see this guy. So I pretend like I'm going to save him $2 in shipping. So I go down to his house. But he mailed it to me, and the post office can't find it. He's literally 30 minutes away, and he ships stuff to California the same day, and they've already got it. I'm waiting for my bow. Anyway, you put the bow between you and the threat. We're going to call that the threat. And you stand your ground, and then you thrust, and you strike, and you strike, and you strike. Full force, full speed, full power. But you're not going to spin in self-defense. Why do you spin then? Spinning is for timing and distance. That's why a boxer skips rope and hits a speed bag. Not at the same time, but that's why they do it. Spinning builds power and strength. And I've had people argue with me, spinning doesn't build power and strength in your grip, only striking does. Not true. I promise you, you're going to get wicked strong grips. The bow is 72 inches. So about the same height as I am. The floor here is squishy. It's an inch. I go down an inch. It's about the same height. And yeah, Chris says the spinning also helps you get used to your staff. Proprioception, spatial awareness, timing and distance. It's conditioning your body to fight, but it's not for fighting. But a boxer, think about a boxer, think about an MMA fighter, right? A ground and pounder, mixed martial arts. They hit bags, they skip rope, they lift weights, they do body weight exercises, push-ups, sit-ups, side-to-side kickouts, glute bridges all day long, right? You do all those things to condition the body, to build the body, to be ready to fight with your hands, with your feet, grappling. And so spinning the bow is the same for a bow fighter, although not everybody agrees with me, which is totally fine. You're welcome. Caught you. So and the other thing is it's fun. It's a good way to disguise repetition, right? That means you can practice striking, and you should practice. Strike, 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 over and over. Thrust, strike, strike, right? Striking behind you, striking to the legs. Practice all the strikes, and we can do a striking video, but you practice that and you practice spinning like a warm-up. I love to spin as a warm-up. It was my realtor just called, finding me a new space. If I'm doing combat bow, I'm going to stand behind it, and I'm going to wait. And then I'm going to hit you before you hit me for self-defense, or if it's competition. And it's completely different than spinning. But just like skipping rope is completely different, but it conditions your legs, conditions your heart and lungs, so you can fight. All right, so we did wrist rolls, we did finger rolls, and let me show you how to do the 3-finger roll, because I want to put the finger rolls and the wrist rolls in with the figure 8 so that you can do a little freestyle tonight. Get your heart rate up, get your feet moving. And let me push you back here a little bit so you can see my feet. I normally don't show you the feet, but I want you to see the feet on the footwork. The footwork on the freestyle. So 3-finger roll, 1, 2, 3 comes to the ring finger and the pinky finger. The first 3 fingers come together and it rolls over the back just like you would a wrist roll or the back of the hand roll. Your thumb takes it and it comes back into your grip. So you 1, 2, 3. 3 fingers together, thumb takes it back into a fighting grip. So now do your figure 8 and do a wrist roll on the outside. Figure 8 into a wrist roll. Figure 8 into a wrist roll. So just practice wrist roll to wrist roll in that figure 8. And then start to move your feet, right? If I'm going this way, I'm just walking. Forward, walking back. I can turn around. I can spin all with one hand, drop it, you pick it up. Then when you're doing your figure 8. Instead of a wrist roll, do that 3-finger spin. Coming over here. Oh, Chris says he's got to work on his grip strength. I promise, Chris, this is going to get it. If you do staff, you're going to have wicked power shoulders. You're going to have good, strong, healthy forearms and grip. Oh, Justin says strikes have increased drastically since taught you how to properly spin the bow. Yeah, it just goes hand in hand. And the only resistance I get are from people who are repeating what an expert says from the world of kobudo or martial arts weapons, the Japanese style, Okinawan. It's mostly Okinawan. The first thing they say is bow staff means staff. Why are you teaching the wrong terms? And I say it's because of the algorithm. YouTube wants to hear bow staff. I'm not going to fight the algorithm. You'd have to be an idiot to fight the algorithm. You're always going to lose. I want people to see the videos and train with me so I can move the school up the street, and because I love it, right? I want to have as many virtual students as I possibly can. It's more fun than teaching in person. Mostly. I still like getting punched in the face, but when we're doing the bow staff, we can do it just as well like this as if we were here, and I don't have to worry about you hitting somebody next to you with your stick. You can spread out. Online, we can all use our own space. Anyway, yeah, we have to learn the bow staff to fight the algorithm. Good point. So, finger roll into a wrist roll, back into a finger roll. And then if you want, you can change hands, and even while changing hands, you can go into a wrist roll and change. Yeah, well, you have to heat hot water. I love it. Gusher says, I'm getting fired up. I am getting fired up. It's funny. This is funny. That has nothing to do with this exactly. But I have this class coming up in a few minutes where I've got to get physical, very physical. I got to move around for the next hour. I'm teaching hand-to-hand boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, and karate, taekwondo, basic kicks, punches, and then get nasty, dirty, street fight self-defense, the stuff that works. Elbows, throats, eyes, palm strikes, knees, stopping someone from taking you down. That's what we're going to work on, and I got to really pump myself up. So even if I have a night off, like Memorial Day or whatever we just had, Memorial Day, on that night, around 7 o'clock here, I start to get really hyper. And yeah, you're right. You can punch a lot harder by spinning the bow. So, oh, good. Justin's working on this transition. So I'm assuming this hand-to-hand, when you change, you can now add the wrist roll, or you can go right into a finger roll. And so what's the purpose of the wrist roll and the finger roll in bow spin or freestyle or bow flow? Bow flow is another term. And what's really cool is there are people that use a shorter staff and they do the fire spinning. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the fire. Some of you might do fire spinning where they spin the fire stick, and it's really, really cool. And it's a lot of that stuff. Kachu says just started doing all that this week. Awesome. So you bring it over. If you're just doing a spin, think of music, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. Or it's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So I add a pause or a extra few beats over here, and I change the rhythm up. And visually, aesthetically, it's more interesting to watch. It's also good for your brain because you're starting to move in new ways. I go back, and then instead I do a 3-finger roll, and again I've changed the timing, I've changed the rhythm. So using these spins, yeah, use a metronome. If you've got a metronome at home, this is really fun. Set up the metronome, start with a slow, and then later a little faster, and then see how fast you can move, and see if you can stay and move your feet in there, right? Whip it behind your back, bring it back around, change the finger position, change it here, whip it down, go to the side, go up over the head, bring it to the other side, back behind your back again with one hand, with the fingers, and just mess around with it. See what else you can do. Oh, girl that does the bow, that's awesome. So you guys have been really cool. Thanks so much for your support. Remember, please go to Pasquinelli.com and mess around with that site. Go all over that place if you have time. That helps me out. But go to the contact box. If you're a member, if you join here on Patreon, send me your name and your mailing address. I want to send out some shirts. I'm getting new shirts made in a bigger bulk at a lower price point, I hope. And I want to try to start sending those out. So as a thank you, especially for those of you who've joined as a member here on Patreon at any different level. It doesn't matter which level. But please do that. Send me that information. And I want to share some of that stuff. I also pulled a name out of the hat, and I'm sending out the self-defense keychain to somebody probably tomorrow. As soon as I get back to the post office, it's going out. Yeah, drummer counts. So I'm going to show. I teach martial arts drumming. I don't know if you guys know this. I haven't done this in a long time, but I use. That's what all those balls are for. It's a combination of taiko, the Japanese drumming, so we use all the stances, and I call it bambo taiko. You know, bambo is Japanese or Spanish word for hit or explosion. Taiko means drum. And we use all the stances. It's an amazing workout. You burn more calories than you do in boxing. I do anyway. It's like 500 calories in 30 minutes. I want to show you guys that, but we'll work up to that if that's something we want to do. Richard says, thanks, Matt. Thank you, Richard. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you in a little bit. I've got to make a quick call, and then my class just pulled up. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Thank you.